Hello and welcome to Newsjack. I'm your host, Angela Barnes, and this week I'm joined by Jason Forbes, Luke Kempner and Mandeep Dhillon. So this week, Boris Johnson wrote a 4,000-word piece in The Telegraph about his plans for Brexit. But it's not really clear why Boris wrote it. Nobody asked him what his vision was for Brexit, but he went ahead and did it anyway. He's the political equivalent of that bloke that cleans your windscreen at traffic lights. I'm pretty sure writing a piece in a national newspaper contradicting your party line isn't usual behaviour for a foreign secretary. Foreign secretary. You know how you could be walking along and suddenly get stopped in your tracks and physically shudder when you remember an embarrassing moment from your past?
Oh, I called the teacher Mum.
I accidentally pressed reply all.
I tried to host Top Gear.
Well, I get exactly the same feeling when I remember that Boris Johnson is Foreign Secretary. In his article, Boris has resurrected the £350 million for the NHS figure that was written on the side of that bus. Now, people were surprised he brought it up again, but I'm not. I mean, it has become a bit of an albatross around his neck. It's forever associated with him, whether he likes it or not. I bet more people go up to Boris and ask about the bus than go up to Richard Wilson and say, I don't believe it. As I see it, when you've been caught making a dubious claim, there are two ways out. You either hold your hand up and take the blame, or somehow make the claim true and own it. And Boris has just opted for the latter. We've all been there. When I met my boyfriend on the internet... Don't look at me like that. I can see at least 6 faces in this audience I recognise from OkCupid. Nice to see you again. My internet profile said that I like to keep fit, that I enjoy a challenge, and that I give money to charity. Cut a long story short, I've got to do a bloody fun run. In future, I will always opt for holding my hands up when I've been caught out. It's a real get-out-of-jail-free card. You can get away with anything if you hold your hands up. It works every time. Who left the window open? Ooh, hold my hand up. Who hasn't put the bins out? Ooh, hold my hands up. Who held a snap general election without a proper campaign strategy and lost their parliamentary majority? Well, almost every time. Michael Gove and Ian Duncan Smith have come out in support of Boris, yet Boris has denied there is a cabinet split over Brexit, once again proving that wise old adage, he who denied it supplied it. Thanks to Boris right now, the Tories look about as united as a fruit corner. Theresa May has responded by saying, Boris is Boris. She hasn't learnt her lesson, has she? Boris is Boris, Brexit means Brexit, strong and stable. It's like someone bought her a copy of Sound Bites for Dummies and she only got as far as the chapter on repetition and tautology. I bet she's one of those people who say 2 a.m. in the morning. Like there's any other 2 a.m. This week was also the Lib Dem conference in Bournemouth. Lib Dems, of course, are just down to 12 MPs in the Commons, so I believe they held it in a Nando's. For some reason, Vince Cable took to the stage for his speech to the theme tune from Ski Sunday. I can only presume it's to illustrate that he really is to the future government what Eddie the Eagle Edwards was to the 1988 British Winter Olympic host. In his speech, he was keen to point out that the Lib Dems were not a single-issue party. He talked about electoral reform, lowering the voting age to 16, and plans to increase housing, suggesting a new generation of garden cities. I mean, a lot of our current garden cities are not so much gardens in the flowers and lawns sense, but more in the old mattress and broken fridge sense. Vince Cable had a dig at the Tory mess, claiming that when it comes to Brexit, the Liberal Democrats will behave as the political adults, which at first I thought was the name of that porn site that Ted Cruz liked on Twitter. This week, Donald Trump has made his first speech to the UN General Assembly. Waiting for a Trump speech is a bit like waiting to watch a kid in a school play, anxiously hoping he remembers his lines and remembers not to play with himself or start World War III. He referred to Kim Jong-un as Rocket Man in his speech. I don't suppose he'll ever apologise for that. After all, sorry seems to be the hardest word. To be honest, whether you like his script or not, it appears he pretty much stuck to one. I mean, I half expected Trump to stand before an audience of diplomats and just riff it.
North Korea are so violent, even their capital sounds like a ricocheting bullet. Pyongyang!
feels scary, of course, but we've been here before, haven't we? I, for one, am old enough to remember the tension of the Cold War. How afraid we were. When I was far too young, I accidentally read a book called When the Wind Blows by Raymond Briggs. If you haven't read it, it's about an old couple trying to prepare themselves against nuclear attack, and it was harrowing. Spoiler alert, they die horribly. It makes the first 10 minutes of Up look like High School Musical. But little did we know at the time just how often we came close to total annihilation. That is why this week I want to remember Stanislav Petrov. You may not have heard of him before, but in September 1983, Stanislav Petrov averted nuclear war. His monitoring equipment in a bunker outside Moscow had told him that the US had launched a missile attack against Russia. But he had a gut instinct that it was a malfunction, so he didn't tell his superiors, and a retaliation was not launched. I think he understood what mutually assured destruction means, and that you can't declare a winner or even a draw when both sides end up a smouldering apocalyptic wasteland. The only winner would be Swindon. That may sound mean to Swindon, but I've wasted so much of my life on that bloody roundabout they're so proud of, I'm not sorry. So we should celebrate Stanislav Petrov as a hero, because he averted a disaster by not blowing us up. Or maybe that's just like saying, I averted a hangover today because I didn't drink a bottle of vodka last night. Not really, because I did drink a bottle of vodka last night. And I did avert a hangover by drinking another one this morning. But now, on with the rest of the show. Time now for some breaking news.
Jeremy Corbyn attacks bosses over gig economy. He claims that the only place in Britain for insecure short-term positions is the shadow cabinet.
Ryanair to debut their new company slogan, "Our pilots take holidays so you don't have to."
After a judge orders Wayne Rooney to carry out voluntary work for an organisation in need of help, he offers to play 10 games for Crystal Palace.
This week, pet shop chain Just for Pets went into administration. I mean, it went to live with a nice family on a farm in the country.
Lib Dem Joe Swinson said that the Lib Dems were like Chumbawamba. They get knocked down, but they get up again. Also, they should have split in 2012.
Firefighters were called to rescue a bodybuilder with his penis stuck in a dumbbell. The incident occurred at a members-only gym.
News now, and Theresa May has flown to Canada to discuss post-Brexit trade deals with her counterpart Justin Trudeau, in what I can only imagine will resemble a bored son visiting his mother in a nursing home. But at Newsjack we're worried. What with Justin's good looks and suave nature? Will Theresa May come out with the best possible deal, or will she be swept off her feet by NATO's answer to a Disney prince?
Theresa, may I pour you another glass of maple wine, eh?
Oh, thank you, Prime Minister.
Please, Prime Minister Trudeau is my father's name. Call me Justin.
Okay, Justin.
Here, try an oyster. They're known to get you in the mood for complex international trade agreements.
They're very nice, Justin. Perhaps Canadian oysters could form a part of a trade agreement.
Look into my big blue eyes. Would you like to touch my hair?
I'm not sure that's appropriate, especially as Angela Merkel is standing right over there.
Hello!
What is she even doing here?
She likes to watch.
I like to watch. Last week, I signed over Germany's car manufacturing profits to him in return for one lick off his diplomatic abs.
Would you like her to join us? I don't mind two ladies together. I'm wearing LGBT socks.
Such progressive footwear.
I don't think this is going to work. Your overly liberal approach to frankly everything rather turns me off.
Therese, my weedy love, you're so wrong. We're meant to be. You sell arms to the Saudis. I sell arms to the Saudis.
I also sell arms to the Saudis.
Justin, no, I'm already spoken for.
What? This can't be. What is this man's name? I'll wrestle him in syrup.
Man's name? Oh, no, Justin. Her name is Arlene.
This Last week, the Liberal Democrats had their conference and Vince Cable said it was plausible that he could be the next Prime Minister. And given the man accurately predicted the global financial crisis in 2008, how come Vince Cable is so good at reading the future? And why hasn't he won the lottery?
Okay, Vince, you're on in 30 seconds. Are you happy with the main points of your conference speech?
Absolutely. The Lib Dems are a serious, credible party, and I could easily be the next Prime Minister, and I'm all set to win this series of Bake Off.
Okay, so... Wait, what?
I'm seeing it now in my mind's eye. I stormed to victory in the Showstopper Bake by walking boldly into the tent uninvited and constructing a vision of a cooperative, united Europe out of many flavoured parfaits.
Vince, we've got 15 seconds. You've got to stop the predictions. You're not actually psychic. I'm pretty sure the good luck charm you gave me is just a conference vol-au-vent wrapped in a bit of someone's hair.
There's no going back to the old Vince, I'm afraid. During my year in exile, I experienced life-altering things. Ballroom dancing, writing a thriller, reading Mystic Meg's autobiography.
Okay, you're on, but take off those velvet robes first.
No, I shan't. I told you, I'm a psychic. Look at my tea leaves. Look at my big orb. I've successfully predicted everything up to this point.
Including Tim Farron's resignation.
Especially Tim Farron's resignation. Who do you think told him it would be a good idea to say all that stuff about equal marriage? You can get away with anything when you're disguised as an old apple seller.
Look, we don't have time for this. Just get out there.
Good evening, Lib Dems. It is I, the old apple seller. I bring good fortunes.
Prince Charles has allegedly claimed he won't move into Buckingham Palace when he becomes king, saying it is too large for a modern family, which really doesn't explain why his family won't move in. Still, it does mean the premises could be freed up for other purposes.
So, here's a nice central London location, well within your price range, Mr...
Oligarch. Russian oligarch.
Mr. Oligarch, located just a stone's throw from St James Park. This charming 230-bed detached property has just come on the market. Previous owner...
Hello.
Who is here despite my email...
Yeah, thought I'd hang about to answer any questions there about the old heap. Any questions? Any questions at all?
Do you have to stand so close to me?
Yes.
So anyway, this property has a charming long gallery.
Yes, Mummy loved her long gallery. It was my mum's place, you see. Many happy memories here, one would imagine.
What is this scary, empty metal man?
Oh, these are original features dating back from...
Nonsense, that's just great-great-great-great-great-grandpapa's suits of armour. Melt them down if you don't like them. Melt the whole thing down. You've got room for a John Lewis here.
Okay, I take. Cash buy. Just small problem of infestation. How is English word? Little creatures scuttling everywhere. Vermin.
Tourists.
Tourists, done. Have them all killed.
Oh, Mummy would be so pleased you're getting this old pile. You really do sound just like Daddy.
Now it's time for some more breaking news.
Facebook is trialling a tool that lets you skip undesirable adverts. A Mr. B. Scott said, "This isn't fair," adding, "Bang, and my job is gone."
Supermarket Aldi has launched a wine advent calendar. The calendar provides a 200ml serving of wine on each day up to December the 24th, or, alternatively, one huge hangover on December the 2nd.
An artificial intelligence program has been developed that can identify whether or not someone is gay by analysing their face. It's nothing special. Apparently, one of the bullies at my school could do the same thing.
Mark Sampson has left his role as England's women's football team manager amid allegations of racism, showing just how far the women's game has come. It's practically the same as the boys now.
There's a new £10 note featuring one of Britain's favourite authors. It's great that now Jane Austen will always be remembered as the tenor lady. North Korea Korea is once again keeping itself in the news. You know the drill. Fire a missile over Japan, release a couple of PR shots showing off your latest weapons, promise to destroy America. It all feels like one big marketing campaign now. I'm starting to think Kim Jong-un might be the most brand-conscious evil despot since Mariah Carey. I wonder what's next for the North Korean rebrand.
Ah, glorious leader, Kim Jong-un. Thank you for choosing to partner up with us here at No Moral Compass Marketing Agency.
The great Kim Jong-un thanks you for your work.
I'm sorry, who are you?
I am the most righteous leader's inexplicably British interpreter.
Oh, that's a shame. Doesn't Mr. Kim speak English? I'd love to hear what kind of wacky accent he has.
No! I don't think that would be appropriate, career-wise. Tell us, what are your proposals to make the world cower in fear at the awesome might of the virtuous North Korea?
Okay, guys, super excited about this. How about, drumroll, an app?
The glorious ruler says he'd rather fire a missile over Japan. It plays very well with his brand.
Yeah, sure, I get it. You hear Kim Jong-un, you think missile over Japan. But the thing is, we've done that twice already. I mean, it is literally so last week. You want to evolve, improve, drive consumer engagement.
The ever-magnificent leader likes the color of this app. You may continue to speak and also live.
Okay, phew. Firstly, you can post instant updates all across the world. It's been pre-programmed with a lady in a pink kimono. It's so you tap the app and threaten nuclear war. It's just like Twitter.
The Wondrous One likes this idea.
Fantastic, show evil one. And here's the pièce de Renaissance. It also has a clock.
Our mighty ruler says he has heard enough. He will take your app.
Toast beans!
And tomorrow we shall fire it over Japan.
Former Trump strategist Steve Bannon has been back in the news this week. No, not because the deadly alien that has taken his body as host has finally hatched, but because apparently Steve Bannon wants to make a Western. Yes, a genre not known for its historical accuracy will finally get the honest treatment it deserves by a man who, just like a cowboy, knows what it's like to live in the same clothes for 6 months. I can't wait.
What do you want, Steve?
Listen, I got a great idea this time.
Bannon, I don't want to hear any more of your movie ideas. I've already turned down that hip-hop musical about the LA riots, and your idea to remake Indiana Jones from the Nazis' point of view has not gone down well with the studio.
I want to make a Western.
Westerns are kind of out of vogue. They tend to celebrate an uncomfortable time in our history when white people were wiping out swathes of Native Americans.
Picture the scene. A lone figure rides into a desolate outpost town. Wow, 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 wow. Wow, wow, wow. Easy now, Steve, he says to his faithful horse.
Steve, why have you named the horse after you?
Because everybody knows that the faithful horse is the brains of the operation. The figure steps off Steve and into the baking sun. And we see he's the coolest cowboy in the West, wearing a big red hat with the words, "Make America Great for the First Time."
Steve, this is already terrible.
Then the evil woman whose husband used to run the town steps out of the crowd and said, "I shall run this place. Remember when I protected you from the bandits?" But then the super cool cowboy is like, "Those bandits were actually a false flag. They were just an excuse to take your guns off you." Sad. Yeah! And the town roll like, "I like this guy, and is there a snake in my boot, or am I just pleased to see him?"
Steve, I'd like you to leave.
It's got excitement, adventure, women being put in their place.
Steve!
It ends with a shootout. The evil woman thinks she has the better hand. Pew, 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 pew. But she misses with every shot. Pa-ting, pa-toom, pa-toom. That's the sound of her bullets ricocheting off stuff. The awesome cowboy spins round to face her. He looks into the crowd and he says, "What about her telegrams?" And so, the evil woman is defeated. The town is saved, and I'm there too. I mean, his smart horse, Steve, is there too.
I don't understand. What did her telegrams have to do with anything?
Because she was evil.
I think I've heard enough.
Wait. I haven't told you who's directing. Mel Gibson.
Technology news now. Fitbit users could be the victims of data theft. It emerged this week after researchers from the University of Edinburgh uncovered evidence that there were vulnerabilities in the wearable technology. My friend bought a Fitbit for her lazy teenage son so she could measure how many steps he does in a day. But she forgot they're worn on the wrist. Gonna get a false reading there, love. With many people using technologies to record their sporting activity, should we be worried about this?
This is Sandra. Sandra is one of thousands of victims of a sinister new identity theft crime wave. Let's wallow in her sadness.
I'd just done my Saturday morning 10K. I'd recorded it on my phone, was about to upload it when I found someone else had already shared it online and they were claiming they'd done it themselves.
In this new type of identity theft, criminals are passing off other people's sporting achievements as their own. This is having a devastating effect on victims who are no longer able to show off about their jogs.
The only reason I went on that run was so that I could be smug about it on Facebook. And now it's ruined. All ruined. All that cardio for nothing.
Unable to broadcast to everyone she knows how far she's run each weekend, she's finding it difficult to cope.
How am I supposed to appear impressive now? Rely on my personality? That's never going to work. I'm awful. When I'm confused, I literally say, I'm confused.com.
And it's not just her. The terrible crime has affected those close to her.
I always rely on Sandra's Tough Mudder Twitter post for my fitspiration. But when her pictures didn't come up, I felt totally unfit-spired. I didn't go for a run, and now I'm addicted to Pringles.
Sandra's life was torn apart by this horrible crime, but like many other victims, she is refusing to be beaten. She's begun to find other ways she can show off online.
I grow my own courgettes. I put them on Instagram. #homegrown. Is there a smug face emoji? If so, I need it.
There isn't a smug face emoji, but with people like Sandra, maybe someday.
Time now for even more breaking news.
As Hurricane Maria tears through British territories in the Caribbean, the government warns people to brace themselves for a new disaster. Morrissey has joined Twitter.
David Davis proposes a new treaty between the UK and EU to combat the growing crime and terror threat. You know, a bit like a union, between exclusively European countries. Like a European Union.
74-year-old Vince Cable says he has a fondness for high-energy pursuits, such as climbing the stairs, putting on his shoes, and being complicit in 7 years of austerity.
Wall Street finishes the week at its highest level, making it much harder for people to walk up it.
Literature promoting an illegal independence referendum was seized by Spanish officials this week. A spokesperson commented, "It was a complete surprise, but then nobody expects the Spanish confiscation."
Arts news now. I know, arts news. I feel like Kirsty Bloody Walk. The first museum dedicated to graffiti art is opening in Berlin. But what is art? Good question, Angela. Thanks. To answer, we sent our roving reporter, me, to Berlin for a little old investigate.
I see you're admiring this piece. The texture, the rawness of it. It's hard not to audibly be thrilled.
Just says Big Barry was here 2017.
Very minimalist, very postmodern. It raises some very challenging questions. Who is Barry? And was he truly ever here? How big was he, and in what way? Physically, emotionally, aesthetically? Or did he just have an extraordinarily large cock?
It's written Where's Sharpie? And he spelt Barry with 3 R's.
The spirit of anarchy is integral. Take the next piece, for example. Broad yet specific. Specific yet universal. Naughty yet nice.
It's a penis.
Exactly. A phallic monument captured innocuously in mid-exorcism.
I don't think that was the artist's intention.
Why ever not?
Because I drew it when I was bored 30 seconds ago.
Oh, my goodness. You're a genius. I am not worth it.
Oh, come off it. It's not as good as this one. I quite like this one. Donald Trump kissing a baby, except the baby is made of dollar bills and Trump's hands are swastikas. Yeah, makes you think.
Oh, good heavens, no. That's just a Banksy. He came swanning in the other week and scrawled that up there. Very passé, very gauche.
OK, enough. Can you please just let me pay? This is a nice car park and everything, but I've got a museum to get to. Time now for our weekly numerical look at the news. Yep, it's Number Crunchers. 79, the number of days it took Mark Beaumont to cycle around the world. 30, the number of days it would have taken him had he stopped to ask directions.
8. The number of Emmy wins for The Handmaid's Tale, a chilling dystopian drama about the US under an oppressive patriarchal regime. 8. The number of years until it is reclassified as a documentary.
6. The number of ribs model Pixie Fox had removed so she could resemble fictional superhero Wonder Woman. 600. The number of ribs I ate so I could resemble fictional superhero Captain Fat Pants.
50. The number of pupils in a fight club as revealed by a private school. 2. The number of fight club rules the school has broken.
12 hours, the amount of time Microsoft Outlook users were not able to send or receive emails earlier this week. 250,000, the amount of people relieved they didn't have to reply to the email chain about Graham's leaving cake. Nobody cares, Karen!
1. The number of times Boris Johnson was accused of being Theresa May's backseat driver. 2. The number of hours Jacob Rees-Mogg spent laughing at the thought of a woman driving. Ladies and gentlemen, that's all from Newsjack tonight. Thanks for listening and goodbye! Newsjack was hosted by me, Angela Barnes, and starred Mandeep, Dhillon, Jason Forbes and Luke Kempner. The script editors were Gabby Hutchinson-Crouch and Robin Morgan. Anyone can submit to Newsjack. This week it was written by Simon Alcock, Elgin Evan Alderman, Jeff Alderman, Garth Ap Thomas, Heidi Regan, Damien Brady, Catherine Brinkworth, Chris Cook, Joe Daniel, Richard Ellis, Alice Etches, Robert Frimston, Jacob Hatton, Steve Hilly, Caspian James, Ed Jefferson, Carl Jones, Ollie Jones-Evans, Dan Kiss, Sean Lothian, Jenny Laville, Cameron Loxdale, Scott Lyons, Barry McStay, Connor O'Grady, Mark Proctor, Emma Williams and Darren Ross. It was produced by Adnan Ahmed and Suzy Grant. Newsjack is a BBC Studios production.